My mic is muted, and welcome back to Hellstorm Wargaming. How's everyone doing tonight? Thank you very much for tuning in. Tonight, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. I'm going to milk No Retreat for one last video tonight. We're going to be talking all about how I came second in No Retreat, and we're going to be going through the matchups, the tables, how they went, what I was running, why it was good, when it did well, when it did bad, and yeah, we're gonna do that. Now, I normally stream at 6:30, Mondays and Wednesdays, as you are probably very aware, because I stream at the same time every Monday and Wednesday on YouTube and Twitch. So thanks for tuning in. But Georgie dragged me out. Here she is, look. Hi, Georgie. This is my girlfriend, Georgie, everyone. We've been out drawing dogs. Haven't we?
We went to a doggy life drawing class.
Right.
So there was loads of little doggy models.
There was a lot of doggy models.
We got to draw them. And we might not be the best artists in the world, but we had a lot of fun.
We had the most enthusiasm.
We had hot chocolate and we had cake. Do you want to show people your work?
The first, not that one. Not that one, the first drawing.
I wonder what I can see, look.
I stream, I know, right?
Sorry, every time. Hi, everyone. This is the first round of drawings that we did.
Right, so I drew this to start with. Right, this. And Georgie laughed. The woman was like, draw it without removing your pen. And Georgie laughed. Look. It's like I'm a kid. And it's like, Mum, look at the picture I drew at school today. Are you going to put it in the fridge like Ringo Starr's first song? And then I did this one. This brown one. I thought that was pretty good. That's a border collie.
That's the one you had to do with your left hand.
That was with my left hand. And then that one was with my left hand. And that was terrible. And then I did this. And I did this with charcoal. Wheeze, right? I will sell it. They're not naked, he's got a harness on, but I did this with charcoal. That was my first one.
This was my first.
This is Georgie's first one. She laughed. I was like, she like drew this and she laughed at mine.
Excuse me.
And then she drew like this and this paw.
Stop
What's
making fun of
this?
me.
I can't do it. What's this?
Stop it.
What happened here? Nah, Georgie's way better than mine. But she laughed at mine.
So
it was
the
ridiculous.
brown ones were the left-hand ones as well.
Yeah.
And then I made them look like Batman.
Right?
For some reason.
It does like
oh god, the Batman.
The charcoal.
No
one did
the warsuit left you.
Listen, that's so rude.
And then Mikey's second one was really good.
Everyone's like menacing, haha, Jojo. Look at this. She was like, draw a dog and then draw it in a scene. So I drew this, everyone. It's Iggy in Egypt finding Jojo. Right? It's finding Dio, sorry, not Jojo. This is his stand. You wouldn't know. So that's Iggy in Egypt. So we're going to put that on the wall.
Yeah.
Looks cool, right? Right?
There you go.
Thanks.
That's why he's late. Sorry, I made him go to...
That's why I'm like, are you going to show your last one?
My last one was really bad.
It was definitely interesting. I peaked. Georgie peaked too early.
He's my favourite
Trajectory was
bit
all
of
off.
my last one. The colourful one, him there.
You do like a beach? That could be Iggy as well.
Iggy
at the beach. Not as good as mine.
Iggy on the beach. I put a top hat on one of them. Then one of them fell asleep.
You did fall asleep. Are you having fun there?
Sorry, everybody. I drew him asleep. Oh god, my legs
Georgie
are
does not care about the microphone. She's just like, look at my picture.
So yeah, that's why he's late. Sorry, everybody.
So that's why I'm late. So we've been drawing dogs. Bow wow, right?
It was very fun.
Just posted my dog when she went to wedding on a Discord.
Oh, go and see.
Bruh, where? Where, Gen Chat?
They're on Instagram. They're
Pets, plants, and people.
Dog.lifedrawing.
Oh shit! Dark Lord of the Cheese. Is that yours? Is it?
No,
It is. That's a very cute dog. Look at the bow tie. Look at the bow tie. That's mint.
Oh.
I love it. Excellent. Exclamation point Discord. Yeah, this is Pets, Plants, and People.
Oh my goodness.
This is our little stream of just doggos and catos.
I did not know this existed until now.
Are you going to join the Discord?
I am.
Exclamation point Discord in chat, George. Right?
So yeah, it was really, really fun. So
it was fun.
For letting him be late.
Right, what are you going to do now? Right, what are we having? Let's go, gamers. Spag ball. Like K Spag ball.
Who we met, we've already been through.
We went through that yesterday, yeah. Yeah, we did. It's still funny. Anyway, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my pictures. We did the drawing. You're not going to come first at pictures of dogs. I am sick of drawing dogs. Clearly. Did you not see my JoJo picture? Listen, JoJo fans would understand. If you're not JoJo fans, what are you even here for? Right? Look at this. It's Iggy about to go on an adventure, about to fight. Oh, was it Sandman? I can't remember what this one was called. It was horrible though. It kept killing everyone, and then he died, and it was very sad. Spoilers. Undefeated in drawing, Iggy. Hell yeah. Unfold the truth of the teacup. I ruined my streak. Missed 1 month of sub. That 10 done. What you playing at, bro? What you playing at? Do you not know the story of the teacup? Do you not know the story of the teacup? You should do if you're a true fan. How come my post hasn't been approved in competitive 40k? Listen, why is not my post not being approved? I love the meme, but I don't know how to take the fact that the wall suit has more followers than me on Instagram. Right? I'm so happy that the Instagram is doing so well. Just to clarify, I don't know who's running it. I think I know, but I haven't asked. I'm just like letting them crack on, you know. But if you go on Instagram and search Mikey's Invicta Warsuit, someone has made an account with nearly 200 followers just about the warsuit that was stolen from me in Gibraltar. Did you hear that? 195 followers it's got.
That's our son he's talking about.
Pardon?
That's our son.
Our son, yeah, he keeps messaging me being like, "Hi Dad, hope you're doing alright. I'm on holiday, hope you're doing okay." And I'm like, right.
I love
like this one. Like, just like photoshopped onto Mandalorian. Like, look, don't send help, I'll be fine. 83 likes. It's peaking. It's doing better than I am. This has got 100 likes. Deal with it, Tubbs. It's not me for you. No, I don't think it is. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to. I'm not going to keep asking. I'm not going to ask. I'd prefer to not know. I think it's funny that way. Meme account, best account. I love it. I love it. It's very funny. It is very funny. So whoever it is, keep it up. I love it. It's very fun. Are you hating on Bridger? How am I hating on Bridger? When did I hate on Bridger? I have an idea for a t-shirt though. Like an Invicta Warsuit, but it's a teacup with arms running. And then sell it on a t-shirt. Would you wear that? Would you wear an Invicta t-shirt? Would you wear an Invicta t-shirt? Let me know. Well, shall I make it as a t-shirt and get them on? That could be the next design. But it is Christmas. So I was going to do the Christmas design. Never found the missed / stolen Invicta. No, never. It never turned up. It has never. Which is a shame. It's really weird because they've checked all the security cameras and it's like they've checked all the security cameras and the only people that are going through is like one random old couple which didn't look like they picked it up and then other people who were at the tournament. So it's either I've done it and not told anyone or someone else has done it from the tournament. That's the only explanation now. But oh well. DN stuff, who might be in chat. DN stuff did actually donate one, so shout out to DN stuff. And that was really sweet. He sent me one, just through the post. Ordered it from Hobby Workshop as well, which is cool. But yeah, they sent me one, which is very, very kind. So I do have one. It's obviously like I've got to build and paint it, which is the downside. But I do have one, which is nice. It'll reappear tomorrow when Varric gets home. Yeah, imagine. Not everyone is happy video is amazing. Yeah, it was very funny last night. Did you get docked for not being painted? And Chris, one of the TOs did. The Chris TO was like, yeah, you gotta get docked now. Whose video is he gonna turn up in? If it was it to play against players you wouldn't know before across the pond? It was mint. It was mint. It was so fun. So nice to play new people, you know? That's why it's important. It's like playing new people is so much fun. Yeah, we're going to talk about my list as well. We're going to talk about my list. I don't understand why my post hasn't been approved. This is bullshit. And this point you can't cover the drama as you cover GT. It's because coverage of GT just sounds like a shit show, that's why. It just sounds like a shit show. People cheating, There was some more at Kent where someone was like photoshopping stratagems. I had better things to do. It's right. It's true. Someone was like photoshopping stratagems at another event. Someone was like taking 6 extra eradicators in their 2,000 point list, cooking dice so they always roll the 6. Like, what the fuck? I can't cover all that. That's like 5 videos. I've got like a whole week's worth of content. That's like a week's content. It should be meant. Trying to get like 10,000 views a video. That's like 50,000 views. What's the history between me and Tactics? Not a lot. I don't know what you're asking me really. I played Lawrence a couple of times. He's beat me every time. Was it 3 eliminators and 3 eradicators, or just 3 eliminators? I'm sure Watkin knows. I imagine he would know. I played Lawrence a couple of times. He beat me both times. The first time he was using Eldar just after the Eldar credits came out. The second time with Drakari just after the Drakari credits came out. And I was using Leviathans and Space Marines both times. But we're good friends. We're good friends. I want him to do me a shout out though, because I bought a t-shirt. I mean that's fair. Look, Lawrence, listen, Lawrence. I bought your t-shirt because I want you to be my best friend now. So will you do me a shout out in a video on Freeview, not on your paywall, on Freeview, just to clarify. Do me a shout out and tag me in the title. Personally, as a fan of Dark Angels, I was excited to see Glacial Geek there, but more surprised that Winters took it with Deathwing list. Yeah, it was really surprising. The About Returning Model, he doesn't have it. He just someone photoshopped a picture with it. It was very funny. It was very, very funny. Someone photoshopped it to make it look like Varrock had it, but he obviously didn't. No one knows where it is. Varrock was looking in bins for it, mate. Varrock was like looking around in bins for it, which is very funny. The challenge into a game. Lawrence. I might do. Might have to. Table Tactics Wikipedia, owned by Mikey from Hellstormwargaming. What, really? Really? Tabletop Tactics Wiki. They don't have a wiki. You're just looking for food, man. No warsuit. No, so the warsuit never turned up. The warsuit never turned up. We don't know where it is. We don't know where it is. Varrock would have been in the bins anyway. The missing warsuit just gave him an excuse. Very good. Very good. I like it. I like it. Right, let's start getting ready to talk about today's topic. There's just one I need to get up. SN, no retreat tables. Because I didn't actually take any pictures of my games, which is very silly. Very silly of me. But I have like small videos which have been provided by SN's own YouTube channel and Angel from Deep Game Spain took videos of everything. So I've got some videos we can talk about and I'm going to draw on screen. I got to run now because you're late. Oh, rubbish. Rubbish. Well, no worries. I presume Liam is obviously streaming a game tonight, so fair enough. Does it work? It does. Right, it looks like Jedward's long lost brother. He does. He does look like Jedward's long lost brother. It's very funny. It is very funny. Yeah, my options were between here and Liam, so I came to the superior stream. Yeah, you should. Not like that, Liam. Just copy what everyone else's does. Hell yes, art stream. Yeah, I'm gonna be drawing today. We're drawing. I've been drawing all night. I've been practicing. Like I said, if anyone's joining late, look at my Jojo picture. I don't have Jojo on here anymore. Rubbish. I can't want the shot either. Oh, fair enough. No, it's dead. Thanks for tuning in, bud. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I'm waiting for like my post to get approved. I don't know why it hasn't. Why is it doing this to me? Why do they not hate? Why does competitive 40k hate me all the time? Like competitive 40k just hates me as a person, because they never approve my posts. They always ignore me. I sent them a message. I was like, "Hey, bro, can you approve it?" No response. No response whatsoever. Mikey, the people's champion. I am. I am the people's champion. Maybe if I was a spammer, I applied to be a mod. I could approve my own post then. They won't have to worry. They won't have to worry if I approve my own post. And my post hasn't gone up in the Reddit either. Maybe I am. Maybe I am a spammer. Maybe I am a spammer. Who knows? I don't know anymore. Comp 40k is a chess pool. Do they play chess there? Do they play chess there now? I don't know how to use Reddit on my computer. How do you use Reddit on a computer? I've got no idea. I want to look at my posts. Chat, messages. I don't say, but just want to say hey. Well, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Got you. More like a cesspool, am I right, fellas? I think that's what they meant, but it's a chesspool, which sounded funny. Can't find it. It's gone. It's not working. I hate everything. Okay. Right, gamers. Let's talk about No Retreat. This is going to be my final coverage of No Retreat Legends. The tournament ran by SN Battle Reports this weekend just gone. An excellent event. 22 content creators and only one champion. Okay. Only one champion. Is Invictus still enjoying its holiday? It is. It is. Go follow it on Insta. So this event was hosted by SN Battle Reports, a fantastic YouTube channel, run fantastic events. And the whole premise of this was to invite YouTubers from all around the globe who make 40k content, put them into one room, make them battle it out, and the winner is the best Warhammer 40k content creator on the planet. On the planet, okay? And the second best, and the person in second place is the second best 40k content creator on the planet, right? And essentially, the whole premise of it is we all get together and raise money for charity. That was kind of like the whole idea, is to raise money for charity, because charity good. Charity good. Oh, my post finally got approved. How do you think Agent Altley's would have fared in toy with a new update to the game? I would have smashed him, even easier than me last time. But yeah, so it's a 5-round tournament, 22 players, channels from all over the globe, such as Winter's SEO, Tabletop Tactics, Tabletop Titans, Hellstormwargaming, the biggest and best channel ever. Who else? Deep Game Spain, French Wargame Studio, Glacial Geek, Rapid Fire Wargaming. I'm trying to go for more now. Damn, I've already forgot. Chapter Master Valrak, right? Chapter Master Valrak was there too. Who else? Vanguard Tactics. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember without looking. Pleasant Kenobi. I shared a room with Pleasant Kenobi or Vince. Because he is mostly magic, but he wanted to come, but he started to do a lot of 40k content. Some of it, he does like Warhammer 40k content like every week on a Wednesday, Warhammer Wednesdays. But some videos like do kind of well, but he's got some videos that have a lot more views than anyone else in the community. Now me and Elliot, I said 40k, I said Hellstormwargaming even. Right, who else? Who else? Let's go. Deep Games. Deployment Zone. They had Liam and Winters, you know? We had Tabletop Titans. I already said that. There was Siege Studios. There was, obviously, Glacial Geek, as I mentioned. There was an SN player. Shaggy. Big Shag. Top Shagger. Which was Min. Which was great. So, loads of players and only one champion. Now, Georgie took a stall. I took a very nasty list. The nasty list, okay? Hey, thank you very much for the super chat, Steve. Really appreciate it, brother.
Please use custom fields instead. I hear due to FAQ all results null and void. Valric is still undefeated and the people's champion went home with the belt. Valric is the winner.
Valric's a piece of shit. Thank you very much for the 5 super chat, man. But yeah, the FAQ, this is pre-FAQ. It didn't affect too many lists that were there, but it did definitely affect one in particular that I did play. So, right, okay, let's have a look at my list. Let's go, gamers. Let's have a look at my list. Oh my god, let me open my phone. Hey, thank you much for the host. Really appreciate it. Exclamation point host in chat if you want to help out. Oh, no retreat 5. No retreat pairings are up. Brilliant. I'm just going to pull it up on screen. 1 second, gamers. Oh, that's not right. NDI phone screen? There we go. Wanted to sell Rocket Truck, Squeak Bucky, Mega Track, Scrap Jet, Shock Jump Transfer, Dakar Jets. Brilliant. Brilliant. So this is my list that I took. So it is Iron Hands and an Iron Hands successor. Now, it is painted as Blood Ravens, but Blood Ravens don't have official rules. They only have suggested rules, and what Forge World suggests you play as Ultramarines. But a suggestion isn't a rule, it is merely guidelines. So I took Blood Ravens as Iron Hands successors. Now, Iron Hands are quite formidable. They're a formidable opponent, you know. They rely on being super durable, as in having lots of stratagems that like can give them feel no pains. And they are super killy. They have lots of stratagems and warlord traits that make stuff very, very killy. Such as Merciless Logic, which on a character 6 to hit, it generates an extra attack. And Mercy's Weakness, which is a stratagem that lets you double wound on 6s to wound. Okay, so a 6 to wound will be 2 wounds rather than 1, which is cool, which is very cool. So Iron Hands are super shooty, and if you build the list that is super shooty, it'd be really good at shooting. It's like, but it plays like a Tau list. So what my list does is like a lot of very good Iron Hands lists are doing at the minute, is building a chapter tactic, a successor chapter tactic that focuses on combat, or at least aids combat compared to shooting. Because you're an Iron Hand, you have all these stratagems, you have all these warlord traits, you have all these relics that make you really good, right? Really good shooting. And the super doctrine lets infantry ignore the heavy penalty and reroll 1s to shoot, right? And you have a stratagem that lets you put a unit into the dev dock every turn. So it lets them ignore the penalty and reroll 1s to hit every turn, okay? Which is really good and gives you all the AP. So why would you take a successor tactic that boosts shooting when you can boost combat instead? Which is why I've gone for Master Artisan, which allows you to reroll a hit every time you shoot all fights, so it helps both phases. And then I've gone for Whirlwind of Rage, so 6s to hit are 2 hits, okay? So 2 hits in combat. So when we get into my combat side, such as Vanguard Veterans, now they're a lot scarier because 6s to hit are 2 hits and they reroll wounds, okay? So that's the plan. That's what we got. So let's have a look. We have 2 detachments. I start with a measly 3 command points. Just 3 command points, because that is all you need. That's all you need, okay? Because you only use 1 a turn. Maybe 2. Mostly 1, okay? So we have our Warlord. It is a Primaris Lieutenant with Rights of War and the Vox Expiritum, okay? So it's Primaris Lieutenant from Indomitus with a shield and sword, okay? So he's pretty good. He's got a Neo Volkite pistol. The Volkite pistol is actually pretty decent because it's 18-inch range, I think. It's quite far, maybe 15-inch range. It's quite far anyway. The Vox Expiritum extends his aura abilities by 3 inches, which basically means he has a reroll wound rolls of 1 for all core units, which is all but 2 units in this army. Reroll wound rolls of 1, okay, within 9 inches rather than 6. There's also the Vox Expiritum. There's also Rights of War, which is a core benefit. It's an aura ability for core units to give them objectives secured. There's only a single unit objective secured in this list, and it's the Incursor squad, right? And nothing else is objective secured, so my objectives suddenly become really easy to tag, which you don't want. So I took Rights of War, and I actually didn't have this in the list before. I just had the Vox Expiritum and Target Protocols, but I've got Target Protocols elsewhere now because I think having Rights of War is really nice, and the Lieutenant I was using before wasn't as good. So I think this is way better. I've got single Incursor squad. These guys forward deploy, which is very good. Forward deploy is really, really strong because you can screen out stuff, other people that can forward deploy. You can also charge turn 1, which is nice. I've then got 2 Devastator squads, both identical. Cherub, so 1 model can shoot twice. Sergeant, so I can make 1 of them hit on 2s. I've got a Grav Cannon and 3 Multi-Melters. Now, Grav Cannon and 3 Multi-Melters looks weird, but having the utility of having a Grav Cannon and the Multi-Melters at the same time is really nice because one of them is going to be shooting twice during that turn 1 drop. You drop turn 1, you ignore the penalty, you reroll hit rolls of 1, you reroll an extra hit because you're Master Artisan, okay? You can make them use Mercy's weakness, so 6 is to wound, is 2 wounds if you really need it, and you make one of them shoot twice. So essentially you have either 6 Melter shots and 8 Grav Cannon shots, or 8 Melter shots and 4 Grav Cannon shots, which is really nice. Really, really nice. For example, in one matchup, I was popping a transport and shooting my Grav Cannon into some infantry, and then I'd use the baby, the Cherub, to shoot the Grav Cannon again to shoot more infantry, which is really good. I shoot the infantry that just got out, which is really nice. It's really, really nice. So 2 units of them and a single drop pod. So drop pod being let me deep strike anywhere on the board, turn 1, 9 inches away, including the unit. But a lot of utility. Because it's an alpha strike list. It lets you drop wherever you want on the board. And that's why forward deploy like the Incursors is good as well, because you can stop people screening you out. Because you can drop to stop people getting too close, so you can then drop where you need to, which is very important. So the second detachment is a Vanguard detachment, and this is where all my points and all my CP go. This detachment cost me 9 CP, and it's 1,333 points. It's the same chapter. I have a Primaris Tech Marine with Hero of the Chapter and Target Protocols. So Target Protocols is an Iron Hands Warlord trait where I choose a unit in the shooting phase, and it can reroll a single hit, a single wound, and a single damage roll. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's high quality shots, right? High quality. So being able to reroll a hit, wound, and damage on them is really good. Master Artisan lets you reroll a hit roll every time something shoots or fights, and then you have Devastator Doctrine for rerolling 1s. So you have a unit that's rerolling all 1s and 2 hit rolls, a wound roll, and all 1s to wound, and a damage roll. So you don't even need CP on the right thing. You want the Reaver Lieutenant because then he can take Obsec off as a strat. That is an aura, and so he's gain Obsec. So you have 9-inch Obsec and 6-inch get rid of enemy Obsec for 2 CP. Yeah, so I originally had the Reaver Lieutenant when I went to LGT, but I didn't use it at all. So that is exactly what I had before, Steve. It's a really good play. Vox Spiritum, Rights of War, and then spend 2 CP on the Terror Troop stratagem, which I really like. But I didn't use it at all, and I felt like having the Lieutenant who's a little bit more combative, if anything did come and get me, it was kind of nice. And I could charge him into stuff, which is much better. But yeah, Steve, you've been listening. You've been listening to the stream, so well done. It's a very good tactic. It's very good. Anyway, Primaris left Tech Marine with here target protocol. Anyway, Primaris Tech Marine with target protocol was really good. And then I have the infamous Teacup or the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. I'll talk about why it's called the Teacup when I get to round 4. We got the Redemptor Dreadnought. So I dropped one of my Invicta Warsuits for a Redemptor, and I actually really like it. It's much better in combat. It's much better in shooting. And it's much tougher for a measly 20 points. The down is it's not as fast. It's much slower. But it's kind of nice because it protects my other stuff, which is good. Which is really good. Never seen someone combo content with Volkite before. How much is the coaching tier again? It's £90 a month. Become a member. Join today. Become a member. Subscribe on Twitch. Join my Discord. I'll coach you. I promise. So I had the Redemptor Dreadnought. I think this is I think it's a lot better than a Warsuit, but still having one Warsuit is nice utility. Again, for that forward deploy, can stop get your deep strikes when you need to. But also you got like a really good combat threat when you roll in to hit on 3s. You roll in one of them, and then 6s hit is 2 hits. Anyway, here's where all my CP go. I spend 3 on a character Dreadnought. So obviously I've got a character Dreadnought. I've completely forgot to mention that first detachment. I've got 3 company veterans, which have the bodyguard special rule. It's a bodyguard special rule. So bodyguard lets characters within 3 inches are immune to shooting. Immune completely. No Overwatch, no pistols. Can't be targeted whatsoever. No sniper rifles, no nothing. You aren't allowed to shoot a character while they're within 3 inches. And the reason I've got 3 is because in the Admech matchup, you can find that they can turn off aura abilities or to benefit from aura abilities. So Unit of 3 still protects characters because it's just a character then. Because then you have Lookout Sir. So you have Lookout Sir anyway, but they have the Bodyguard special rule, which makes them even better at protecting characters. And I've got 3 of them. Always Storm Shields, make them super tough. Anyway, so I've got the Contemptor Dreadnought. He's got Merciless Logic, which I've already mentioned. 6s to hit is an extra attack. So you can get lots and lots of extra hits because he's got a Cyclone Missile Launcher and he's got Twin Volkites. And Volkites are obviously super good. It's 16 shots, strength 6, no AP, 2 damage, 6s to wound is a mortal wound. You have AP whilst in the Devastated Doctrine. You can make him hit on 2s with the Primaris Tech Marine. So you can make him hit on 2s, rerolling 1s while he's in the Dev Dock, wounding on 3s against most targets, wounding on 5s against vehicles, rerolling 1s and an extra 1, and then make the 6s double wound, which is very good. 6s double wound is really good. So I've got one of them, that's 3 CP. I spend another CP taking the Contemptor Dreadnought. Again, same loadout, but not a character. But this one's kind of nice. It's kind of like a bit more utility. You can kind of throw this one to the side, and it kind of just be a bit of a distraction from everything else, which is kind of nice. I've then got 2 units of Vanguard Veterans, both identical. Both Vanguard Veteran units are identical. I've got 4 Lightning Claws and 4 Storm Shields, and a Storm Shield and a Thunderhammer Sergeant. So having the Thunderhammer in there is really nice. A little bit of extra 3 damage. And the Lightning Claws are really good because you are rerolling wounds with them. They're strength 4, they're AP 2. You can make them AP 3. You got exploding 6s to hit. You can make 6s double wound. Actually, that's shooting. Sorry. You got exploding 6s to hit. You're rerolling wounds. It's really nice. Really nice. And then I've got 2 more. I've got an Eliminator Squad. Now, these are really, really good. I originally had suppressors, but I'm so glad I put eliminators in instead because I think they're just better. So what these have is you have a special rule. Is 1, they forward deploy, just like the Invicta, just like the Incursors. So now I've got 3 forward deploy units, okay, which is crucial to the list. But also, the Sergeant has an Instigator Bolt Carbine, which is a worse sniper rifle than the other 2. However, phone noises are coming through. Oops. Sorry. My bad. So it's a worse... Oh yeah, why is that not muted? There we go. Sorry about that. It's a worse bolter, a bolt sniper rifle. However, it can still target characters, but also after the Sergeant is shot with that one, the unit can make a normal move. Crucial. Yes, very crucial. So you can move during the shooting phase, and you can move when you're Overwatch as well. So the Overwatch one's really janky. It's really good because if they declare the Eliminator Squad and someone else, you can Overwatch and then move, and then they can't charge you, which is really nice. If they can't reach, you can spread them out, or you can Or if they want to get like a really long charge, or you're quite close to them and they're trying to leapfrog off you, what you can do is shoot and then move into a place where they don't want to go. For example, if they want to charge onto an objective, you can move off the objective so they have to charge you now, and then they're not hitting the objective, which is really nice. And then I spent another CP for a Whirlwind Scorpius. So Scorpius 3d3 shot, strength 6, -2, 2 damage. Doesn't shoot twice or anything anymore, but obviously it's AP2 naturally, so it becomes AP3, which is very, very strong. Very, very strong. It picks things up out of cover like nobody's business, right? I swapped this for the Sakaran Arcus, which is the same amount of points. The Sakaran is BS2. It has more wounds. It's faster, but it's only AP1 and it's 2d6 shots. So I've got more consistent shots, but a lower ceiling of shots because I can only get 9 rather than 12. But it's higher AP, which is very big. Made a massive difference in every game, which is really good. Really good. So, that's the list. That's the list that I took with me. I thought it was pretty good. It's one of the best lists I've ever ran. It's really fun as well because it's got a lot of utility. It's good in combat. It's good in shooting. And I don't really know how I would change it. I think the only thing I'd change, I maybe potentially would drop the other Relic Contemptor and take something else. But it's pretty nasty. It isn't there to make friends. It's there to win a tournament. And that's exactly what I intended to do. Anyway, now we're going to talk about the matches. So I played 5 wonderful people because it was a YouTube-only tournament. That was the important thing. Played 5 legends, right? 5 legendary people. And we raised loads of money for charity, which is the important thing as well. We raised loads of money for charity. One sec. I'm going to talk about the 5 games I had. Okay. So, thank you very much to Angel from Deep Game Spain for providing these videos. But this was table 1. Okay. Well, my first game. So this is like a bombed out city, a ruined cityscape, which is really cool. And I think that is the perfect screenshot. There we go. 1 second. You actually see my army there with the Invicta War suit as well. So the first mission, if I recall correctly, was Overrun. If I remember correctly, the first mission was Overrun. Oh, surround and destroy. Yeah, that sounds right. Surround and destroy. Okay. I'm gonna have to get my little chapter approved. It was definitely surround and destroy. I love how heavy the boards were at the tournament. They're also high quality too. They were really good. They were really good. Do you find out to continue putting forge on stuff making this competitive boring AF? Yeah, it is kind of annoying. It was kind of annoying. But it's just one of those things. Just one of those things. If you want to do well, it doesn't matter what you're using, in my opinion. What were you feeling going to this tournament? Did you think you would do as well as you did? Now, I really wanted to do well, and that's the reason I took a horrible list. But I was worried about 2 lists in particular. I was worried about Adrian's Freebooter Orcs, and I was worried about Brian's Skitari Horde. Now, Brian ended up dropping out, so Brian couldn't make it. So only 1 list scared me, and I played it round 2. So I actually lost that game. So I was right. My feelings were correct. So anyway, so I played Quipster Nerd. So Quipster Nerd, or Alex, from Deployment Zone. Now, he was running Custodes. I'm hoping he's put a picture of his army up. He has not. But I have a picture of an Alaris to Custody. So these are his. This was his army. This is what they look like. Now he had a small army, a very small army. He was using Shadow Keepers. He had Valoris. He had 2 Dawn Eagle jet bikes, one with the Lock Warden and Auric Aquila, so the reroll in charge and 3+ invuln. He had another Shield Captain who had Eagle's Eye, Salvo Launcher, Superior Creation, and Unstoppable Destroyer. So that's the one that could do the janky consolidate whichever direction they like. He's got 3 units of Custody Guard. He's got a unit of 5 and a unit of 4 Alaris Custodians, as you can see on screen right now. And then you had a Telemon Heavy Dreadnought with double Storm Cannons. So that was Alex's list. Now, it was quite an interesting game because Alex isn't the most competitive person. He's more of a narrative player. Played for fun. He brought an army that he painted himself and wanted to show off with, you know? So it wasn't the strongest army. It wasn't the strongest build. But it's Custody, so we can't, like, joke about this. We can't, like, mess around. Eyes can rise up, exactly. How's it going, Elliot? How you doing, bud? We got to pick the size. So, overrun, essentially you have, like, an objective here, an objective here, an objective here, and here. And then, like, 2 in the middle. We have 1 there, and then, like, 1 over here, okay? We got a bit of perspective, because you're looking at the side of the board, okay? I didn't take a picture because I'm an idiot. I really should have. But so it's the Dawn of War deployment style. So you get like 10 inches on here, 10 inches on here. Okay. And the terrain for this one, we played all of it as ruins, bar these pipes. These were trees. We played these as trees. Okay, and trees. It was identical. It's a nice board. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And it went kind of like this. Let me tell you about the secondaries I took. Because Custodians are really hard to kill. Custodians are really, really hard to kill. And this mission lends it for Custodian to its short table edges. Okay. So I took raise the banners, engage on all fronts, and to the last. So raise banners, I'm kind of thinking is I have lots of like forward deploy. So I can get on those objectives early, get some cheap banners, and then I'll lose the 2 in the middle. I'll put a banner here. That's my little flag. I'll put a banner here, turn 1. And then I'll keep banners on here for the rest of the game. That's my kind of my plan. I took engage because I need to be in the middle of the board anyway, so I can easily hold this objective, hold this one, and then be on this side to engage on all fronts. And that's up to the last, which is on my Scorpius. Sorry, no, it's not. It's on my Redemptor and my 2 Contemptors. Now, one of my Contemptors, they can't shoot because it's a character and it's going to be with Bodyguard. The other Contemptor is going to be a big target for him, so it kind of forces him to shoot that. But then I've got the Redemptor, which is much harder to kill, and the Contemptor is going to be distraction as well. Correctly accounts for perspective on a table diagram, but can't draw a duck. Shut up, Invicta Warsuit. You screw you. Anyway, so Alex not being the most competitive player, I think he's a little bit nervous about this matchup. I kind of spoke about it on my Instagram story and his Instagram story, so you should go follow him. He's very nervous about this matchup because my list is very, very optimized and his wasn't. He took stuff that was cool, which is important. But I think he got into his own head a little bit and got a little bit too scared. And the first 3 turns, not a lot happened. He kind of had like a Telemon here. He had big Trajan with his stick here. He had some Custody Guard here. He had his 2 bikes here. Something like this. And maybe some more guard. Maybe some more guard over here. But then he had the Alaris in reserve, right? I essentially had the Scorpius over here. Dreadnought. I had my Vanguard in here. My other Vanguard here. And then essentially I forward deployed my Incursors here. My Invicta over here. And my Eliminators right on the other side of the table. Okay. But Alex, crucially, had an objective on this side and didn't deploy anything there. And that was kind of like his downfall. Because I think he was too scared. I think he thought if you put anything here, then he'll just lose it. Which is right. But the problem is because he didn't put anything there, it allowed me, when I went first, which is important as well, is put a drop pod here, right? I put a big fat drop pod here. and 10 Devastators all got out right in front of it. Sat on an objective, shooting him straight down here because it's F-all terrain, right, in his deployment zone. Which is like pretty brutal. Like, I only shot a Telemon, and I didn't even kill the Telemon. I think I maybe killed a guard squad, and I did some damage to the Telemon. But what I did do is drop on the objective early, nice and early, right here. I could see straight down into his deployment zone. I could see everything. Okay. And then all my other stuff, I dropped my banners down. My Invicta kind of moved up and got line of sight to some stuff and didn't do a lot. My Dreadnoughts, all my Dreadnoughts over here, naff all. Didn't do anything. Anything, Zone 1. You deployed Castle to E10. Yeah, I flanked him. I flanked him with a drop pod, right? But the rest of my army did was raise banners. Like my Vanguard, some flew up here. I raised the banners down here with the unit of Vanguard veterans. My Dreadnoughts and stuff kind of just like shuffled around, didn't really do anything. I pretty much just like moved forwards, but I didn't move out, you know. I just kind of like came up here and started chilling here. But this is like really important because what Alex then did was countered, and the Telemon shot down and shot in return to try and kill some Devastators, right? Back here. There is a lot of squiggles, yeah, that's right, Dan. He kind of like shot down here. I think he had a guard squad that moved in here. I think that's what happened. There's a guard squad that moved into here and raised a banner here because he also took raised banners, engage, into the last. So he took exactly the same secondaries. Can you make the stream viewable tomorrow? I want to watch how I paint. You can always watch. You can always watch. You can always watch in live stream playlists. They're always public. They're just unlisted. You can always go back and watch. So Alex took the exact same secondaries as me. So he moved some banners on or Custody Guarantee and he used his Telemon to counter me, but the Telemon's only 1 damage. The Telemon's only 1 damage, and he only killed 1 squad of Devastators. Right? So turn 2, I didn't do a lot. I pretty much just left the Devastators there and shot him again. I just shot the Telemon again. I did like 3 wounds. It really didn't matter. But the rest of my army did nothing, and this is really bad for Alex. Because he played so defensively, I had basically all this side of the board and this was mine. I was just sat on objectives. I didn't need to engage the Custodies. I just needed to just hold the objectives and score points because I've got banners. So I just need to sit on an objective. I've got to the last. I need to not die. And I've got engage. I just need to be all over the board. So I was getting like 2 points a turn on engage. I didn't do anything. I was just waiting, essentially. I was waiting because he wasn't engaging me, which I wanted to happen. I wanted him to stay away from me. But I had this drop pod just sat doing nothing, just holding ground and being annoying and being a massive distraction, which was very, very good. And again, as I said, like Alex wasn't the best, isn't like the best competitive player out there. He's the most competitive player out there. But this was like a crucial mistake because he just left me the board. Now, turn 2, he dropped some Alaris. He dropped some Alaris down. He dropped some here and then brought his bikes this way, like this, and dropped some Alaris down here. He dropped 5 Alaris. And I had 5 Vanguard veterans here. And he shot them with the stratagem to double shoot. He double shoot, but he only managed to do 1 wound to a Vanguard. And then I think he like failed to charge here because I think he was trying to charge my war suit, which was here before the teacup. The teacup that was here. He tried to charge my teacup, but failed. I think maybe with like a reroll or something like that. So I didn't do a lot of damage. So I counter charged and tried to punch him and failed as well. But at this point, I was like racing ahead. I think by the end of my turn 2. I got 15 for the primary. I got 4 banners up and 2 engage. Right, Alex, so that's what 15, 21 points compared to Alex's 8. And it kind of just went like that. It was kind of like just like I get max primary, I get a few secondaries, and Alex doesn't get a lot. It's only control 1, control 2, but as soon as I'm like killing this unit here, as soon as these are dead, they're done. The fact that I'd like shut down his back line and he was getting super defensive just didn't work. And I think what Alex should have done is like moved out quite early and just been like super aggressive. Let's get back to something that's more reasonable because everyone's talking about my squiggles now and I'm getting nervous. What you should have done is just move these straight out and come and got me. And I would have had to counter them. And bikes are really hard to kill. The shield captains are really hard to kill because we've all got 3+ invuns, right? The Telemon literally sat there and shot drop pod for 3 turns. I was like, what are you doing? Just run out with it. Come and be annoying. Imagine coming in at this point looking at squiggles. Listen, the squiggles are the best, okay? The squiggles are the best. They're the best part of my streams. So yeah, so he was just played super defensively. So the final score was 97-41 to me. I managed to get 45 on the primary, 15 on raised banners, 12 on engage, and 15 to the last. Whereas Alex only got 20 on the primary, 4 banners, 2 engage. So he only got gauge on all fronts once. And then 5 onto the last. Because I think I killed the Telemon. And I think he only had Trajan left. I think he only had Trajan left at the end. So that was game 1. No more crazy lines. That was game 1 against Alex. Fantastic opponent. Took it like a champ. But his list wasn't quite optimized for like this sort of like level of meta, let's call it. But also, I think he just got really nervous. It got in his head a little bit. We spoke about it after the game. He was just super defensive, and that didn't help him whatsoever. He just stayed back, right? He just stayed back. Whereas he should have run out of me, because once the invuns are in my lines, and there's loads of them, like there's the Alaris, there's the bikes, and then there's a Telemon sat on objective gunning me down, I'm screwed. But he stayed back. He stayed back and then gave me the board, and that cost him the game. It cost him a lot of points in round 1. Anyway, so this tournament, also, hey Broadside, how you doing well, bro? This tournament was using battle points as a pairing metric, okay? It was only battle points, so wins and battle points. The old way of doing it. The old way of doing it. Not the great way of doing it. I wouldn't recommend it anymore. But it was, and it's just one of those things. What else can you do? So the second mission was battle lines. I hate battle lines, gamers. I can't stand it. Shield wall. Yeah, exactly. He should have shield wall. He should have shield walled, but he didn't do it. But I hate battle lines. It is a bad mission, in my opinion. The secondary sucks, even though I took it. This is what you say you should have considered submarine. I should have. If I were a submarine, I wouldn't have played Agent round 2, but I did. We were on the exact same points, 97 or 96 and 97. I think I had more points than him at the time. But next one I played Adrian from Tabletop Titans. Now, he had the freebooter list. Okay? He had the list of lists. The list that had just won SoCal. One average boy beats the GOAT of 40k in 1 turn. Okay? It was a little brutal. Now, here's my army. Just in case you wanted to see it. That's my army there. But this is Adrian's army. So he had a horrific amount of buggies. A horrific amount of buggies. Okay? Let's have a look at his list. Now, Adrian's a fantastic player. He's won a few events as well. And it's a really, really good list. He had freebooters. He had a beast boss on Squigosaur with brutal but cunning, beast hide mantle, and extra gubbins as well. He had a unit of commandos. He had 3 mega track scrapjets with the nose drill, rocket cannon, 2 twin big shooters, and the wing missiles. He had 3 units of Rucker Truck squig buggies. Obviously, this is illegal now. I should clarify, but he had 1 Rucker Truck, a unit of 2, and a unit of 2 Rucker Trucks as well. He had 3 war bikers. He had 2 single mech guns and 2 Dakar jets with all 6 shooters. All 6 shooters. He had another unit, another detachment of patrol. He had a Death Killer war trike with Arda's nails, the Bad Skull banner, which gives out obsec essentially. He had a 10 Gretchen as his tax. He had another unit of 2 commandos. He had 2 units of Storm Boys, 2 mech guns, and a Waz Bomb blaster jet, which has D6 shots, D6 damage, and gives out an invuln to all flyers. Again, this list is illegal now. You can't take more than 2 flyers in an army, and these you can only take a single unit, so a maximum of 3 in a single unit now, rather than 2 units of 2 and 1 unit of 3. Because he's got 5, you can only take 3. So this is the board. This is the board. We're going to try and hopefully get a nice shot. So it was like an orc board, which wasn't good for me because there's not a lot of places to hide on this board. Not a lot of places to hide. So this is the board they were playing on. It was an orc fortress. It was kind of like playing Dawn of War again, except more brutal and way more Forge World and lots of buggies everywhere. So battle lines, essentially you have one objective here, one objective here, one objective here, and one objective here. Now the terrain was laid out differently because we rearranged it for the game because this is set up for Dawn of War, and essentially we moved the terrain before the game started, which is kind of nice. But essentially I had like a bit of an L, a tiny little L here. I had a little thing here. I had a little thing here that was I could hide stuff, but not a great deal. Now this game essentially came down to turn 1, and it's a shame when it does, but it definitely was. My army is ridiculous at Alpha Strike. It's crazy good at Alpha Strike. I played freebooters. I played basically the same list. This one is arguably a little bit better, but the one I played had more buggies. It had 2 planes still, and I went first against it in LGT, and I think the opponent only scored like 5 to 7 points in that game. Because I killed everything turn 1. I think he had like 4 buggies left. And 4 buggies can't win you the game. What buggies are really good is overwhelming you before the game starts. French Orbital Strike with love. Well alone this time. We appreciate it, Ice Cream. How you doing, bro? Good work by Judy with the new data. It's like, yeah, the new data balance thing is really good. We did a whole stream about it yesterday. I put a video about it today, so make sure you go watch it. But essentially, I had my dreadnoughts back here behind this. I had like a little L building I could hide behind. I had my Scorpius right at the back. I had my Vanguard veterans chilling here. I had some more Vanguard veterans chilling here. Because the deployment line is basically this way, like this. Like that. Again, we got some perspective. I had some more Vanguard veterans here. I deployed some Recursors up here. And I essentially used these. I didn't do that. Again, the terrain's a little bit different, but I essentially had incursors lined up like this, which move blocked some Rucker trucks, which is nice. And then, but Adrian deployed first and put commandos over here, which stopped me dropping over here. I had like my Invicts in the middle. I had some like Eliminators over here, just on the front line, just to stop him deploying anything else there. Adrian had, I'll draw Adrian's in yellow. He had like a plane. Rucker, Wazjet, Rucker. Yeah, it does everything here, okay? Because it doesn't matter where it goes, because it's the Squig Buggy list. It moves 14 inches. It literally doesn't matter. However, it all came down to a single dice roll. Let me tell you about the secondaries we took. So against Adrian, I took Bring It Down, which is kill vehicles. I took Grind Them Down, which is kill more. And I took Vital Ground. Now, Vital Ground is not bad. Essentially, it's the mission secondary. It's hold the 2 objectives in the middle, either for 2 points, or your opponent's ones for 3 points. However, you have to hold it at the start of your command phase. Now, I thought it was the end of the turn you had to hold them. However, it wasn't. Now, this was a mistake on my part. However, if I'd gone first, I think I would have got it. I think I would have maxed it. But I didn't because I went second. Adrian went for Engage on all fronts. He went for Retrieve Altarius Data and Bring It Down as well. Now, I think I took quite a few points out of Adrian. I took 24 points off him, which basically means he's only scored 76. But essentially what he did was he went first and moved all these planes right up here, okay? And this basically gamed it, okay? He moved all of his planes into my deployment zone. He moved all of his forward deploy stuff ever so slightly closer, and essentially screened me out. So turn 1, I could only drop my drop pod over here in my deployment zone. Very sad drop pod over here. This is a drop pod, everyone. So my drop pod, very sad. That's a drop pod. It now looks like a dick. So my drop pod had to drop in the back line, which wasn't bad. So turn 1, I think he killed my incursors, my eliminators, And I think he took out a unit of Vanguard as well with all of the Dakar because it was just too many shots. My turn 1, I killed all 3 planes. I killed a WAS bomb. I think I did some damage to some other stuff as well. But the problem was I was in my back line. I was in my back line. I just had to drop in I had to drop down because I had to kill all of the planes, and then I had to do as much damage as I could. Turn 2, he took out my second Contemptor, who's not the character. He did damage to my Redemptor. I think he blew it up that turn as well. Because essentially what he did, he just moved the buggies forward, right? Got all the wing jets in range, in line of sight, and then just like proceeded to just shoot the crap out of me. And the problem was I was so far back. I killed loads turn 1, but my army was so far back, so I couldn't take the objectives. So he smashed me on primary, and that's why I won the game. Because he got so much. He got 40 points on primary. I only got 30. And I obviously had that duff secondary because I went second. But essentially, it just all rolled forwards. The bombers came over, the flyers came over and did their thing, but screamed me out. But then all the Rucker trucks just like nailed me, kept nailing me. Now, my Devastators did really well. I was really utilising the terrain, like the forest that we had, the plus to save that I had with my touching terrain. So they were like -1 to hit, 2 up save, and then throwing out metal shots everywhere. But the problem was I just couldn't quite claw it back, and I didn't have anything to do with like this side of the board, where he had like his war trike, which is just kind of like hiding, and I couldn't shoot it at all. Eventually I got it, but I had to really commit. But I essentially got 12 on Bring It Down, 9 on Grind Them Down, and 0 on Vital Ground. So I got how many points is that? I got 21 points on secondaries out of 45. And then I got round 2, round 3, and round 4. I only scored 5 points to the primary, but in the last round I got 15. Because essentially in the last round I killed him off all the objectives and ran onto him. Because I went second. But Adrian got 40 on the primary. Like turn 2, 3, and 4, he got max 15. He got 9 for Engage, 12 for Rod, and 5 for Bring It Down. So he didn't get a lot for Bring It Down. It was worth 12 points, I think, in total. But essentially, I just denied him getting those points off me. So it's 76-61. Again, it's a brutal list. Whoever goes first essentially wins. That's kind of like how it is in this sort of matchups, because it's like he's so killy, I'm so killy, but he was like just a bit better because he went first. He could stop me. He slowed me right down. In hindsight, what other secondary would you have taken? I think I would have taken Oath of the Moment. Would have been pretty good because I didn't fall back, I didn't fail morale, and I killed the vehicle every turn. So that would score me like 7 or 8 points, maybe a bit more. Because you're gonna kill a vehicle every turn because it's buggies. You're not really gonna fail morale because you're either gonna die or be alive. And being in the middle of the board is no, but it's like 10 points just by taking that one, which is mean it would be 76-71, which would have made it closer for first place as well. I don't think there's any other secondaries you could really take. Maybe engage because you're running up the board anyway. Scorpius sits here. Rest of your army moves this way. You've got to hold this objective here, so you got to leave a unit there, and the rest of the army moves that way. It's a samurai duel. It's he who sings quickest. Yeah, exactly. Because if I go first, I kill all of his planes, so they don't kill my backline stuff. I move forward. I start killing all these trucks. He starts charging me. I start punching him back. It becomes way more interesting. But because it goes first and screens me out, there's like nothing I can do. And I think it's either way. If I go first against him, he can't quite get me anymore. He can't quite touch me enough. He can't hit me enough. He's not quite as the alpha isn't quite as strong. So, and it was a close game anyway, because again, there's only 15 points in it. There's only 15 points in the game, which is quite crucial. Crucial. It's quite important. It's a thing to remember. Like, even though he went first and won, I still only lost by 15, which is what you got to remember sometimes. Even if you lose, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you only just lose. You got to think about the points and what the points you score. It's all about the points you score. So I think that's what I would have done differently. I would have taken the other secondary, and I would have just gone first. That's what I would have done to win. That's what I would have done, gamers. I would have just gone first. Easy clap. Easy clap. That's what I would have done. That's all I need to do. Tactics, bro. Hell yeah. Hey, Fuji, how's it going, bro? Okay, so that was round 2. So on a loss, sadly, but against the freebooters, which are arguably one of the best lists in the game, or were the best lists in the game. They're not quite the best list anymore. So round 3 was against Liam, a little Liam. Now Liam from Deployment Zone, he's currently live streaming a game right now. Big Think Tactics, hell yeah. Now the table we played on for the 3rd round was this one. So it's like a big massive spaceship, and this isn't quite the same layout, which is kind of annoying for my analysis, but there you go. It's quite late for my analysis. It's not quite right, but you know, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. So essentially, we had lots of big terrain, and he was playing Harlequins. Now Harlequins are pretty cool. They're quite weird as well because I don't really know how they work. I'm going to show you a picture of the Harlequins, but Liam didn't paint them. Confurioso did. Does he have a picture of them? No, he doesn't. I thought you had a picture of your Harlequins. Rubbish. I can't find any picture of his Harlequins. That's a shame. Maybe I could search Deployment Zone. Or Liam. Did you find one Eliminator squad enough, or do we wish you had 2? I think one was pretty good. I think they're much better than suppressors. There wasn't many opportunities I could just sit and shoot characters though, but I thought the jankiness that I had with them was very good. I really enjoyed the jankiness I had, being able to like move after I've overwatched and stuff like that. Because there's a point where someone charged me and another unit, and then I overwatched and pulled the unit away from them, so then they couldn't make the charge legally, so they couldn't charge. Now this is the only picture I can find, but they are nice. Was it a 6-plane list? The freebooters, no, it's 3 planes. That's not how limbs work. What do you mean? I mean that's not how they work. They make a normal move, right? They changed it. Oh, rip. Okay. Cheated. Cheated live on stream. Caught me 4K. Cheating 4K. Was it? Is it FAQ'd? Cheated live on stream, everyone. Cancelled. Hellstormwargaming is cancelled. I mean, it literally came up once. Why does it? Why am I in Chinese? Well, it's not in the FAQ, or is it in the codex? Let's have a look. I don't think it was game changing, but you know, obviously that's important to know. Where are they? Have I misread it? I was mostly using him for his firing fade. In your shooting phase. Ah. In your shooting phase after this unit is shot, if it is not within engagement range of any units and contains an eliminated sergeant with an integrated bolt carbine, you can make a normal move. This is your movement phase. So you can't do it during Overwatch. You can't do it in Overwatch. That's the important bit. Okay. My bad. My bad. I will have to apologise to Bridger. I'll have to apologise to Bridger because I did it against him. There's one point where he charged my... he was going to charge my eliminators. Caught in 4K, literally. I will apologise to him. I thought it was just when they shot. But I was mostly using it for fire and fade. Mostly using fire and fade. Hand your trophy back. Never. Never. Call me TJ Lanigan. I'm cheating live on stream. Brilliant. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal. I did like the eliminators. I did really like the eliminators. I thought they were really good. The jank was still pretty good. I was like fire and fading. I was like moving, shooting, and then moving on to an objective and taking some off people. There was only one time that the shooting characters came up, and it was in this Harlequins game that I played. But it wasn't enough. 2 units would have been better, but I also don't know what I would drop now. I don't know what I would drop. I don't even know what I would change in the list until there's an FAQ. I don't even know what I would change. I think it's a really good list. I was tempted to play Born Heroes. That might be the other thing I change. Hitting on twos in combat is really good. So, anyway, so against Liam, he had, let me tell you about Liam's list. He had a Shadow Seer with Agent of Bedlam, Fog of Dreams, Grenade Launcher, Mistave, a Shield from Harm, Shuriken Pistol, and Pivotal Roll Veil of Tears, because he was using Frozen Stars. He had a Troop Master with the Player of the Dark, Choreographer of War, Darkness Bite, a Great Harlequin with the Twilight Fang, and then he had another Troop Master with Choreographer of War, Harlequin's Kiss. That was like the characters. Then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of troop with loads of fusion pistols, caressers, all the shenanigans. He had 3 fusion pistols in every unit. He had a Death Jester, a Solitaire with Kegarak's Road, Harlequin's Caress, a Kiss, and he had Unnatural Acrobats. Then he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 units of 5 Skyweavers with Haywire Cannons and Zephyrin with Glaives. He had a Void Reaver, which was like, you know, just a terrible unit, but I think that's just what he had. And he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Star Weavers. 5 Star Weavers with Shuriken Cannons. Now, Harlequins are a weird one because they are super fast and they're full of melters. And if he went in and tagged my Dreadnought and blocked them in where I couldn't move, he could probably sit there and then shoot them out of combat with melter pistols, with fusion pistols, which is really good. I don't even take them to the shoot characters just for movement. Yeah, I think Eliminators are just really good for the movement. Again, I just don't know what I'd change in my list. I don't know what I'd drop. I don't know how I'd make it better. Except for maybe taking Born Heroes. Anyway, so that was his list. This was the board. This is the board. It's not a great picture. It's a still from a video. But essentially a gigantic crash ship, loads of woods and stuff like that. Now, I think Liam was a bit defeatist in this game as well because he can redeploy nearly his entire army for 3 CP before the game starts. And I got first turn and he didn't. And I offered him to do it twice. But essentially the mission we were playing was... Let's have a look. Overrun. Overrun, I know what this one is. So it's an objective here, an objective here, an objective here, 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 here. Oops. Here and here. So there's 6 objectives. The deployment is like Dawn of War again. So it's like wee, like that. We'll move that a bit further back. Wee. There we go. Whenever they get around to moving points, Volkites will go up. They sure will, buddy. They sure will. So Liam put like Star Weavers down here. He had like these little boats. I don't know what the boats look like, but you know, he had little boats like this. Something like that on a stand with a base. He had like loads of them around here. He had some bikes right in this corner, which are a real pain in the arse. He had some bikes over here. And that was pretty much it. That was the deployment. Some boats here. Let's draw another boat. Got a guy on the back. It's a Star Weaver. It's got some things here. I'm drawing a lot today. So he had loads of boats up here. He had another one here. And kind of deployed like this. Whereas I kind of deployed with my Dreadnought, my Contemptor Dreadnought here. Most of my other Dreadnoughts over here. Right in the corner behind this big frigate thing. Because it was kind of like slightly that way. I had my Scorpius right in this corner, which could run onto this objective turn 1. I had some Vanguard veterans chilling here. Eliminators sat in the building as well. Eliminators sat in the building. Right in the front line. Warsuit chilling. Incursors chilling over here. Having the best time of their life, that's all I'll say. Anyway, I told Liam, because when I rolled to go first and I won, I told Liam that I could, if I moved my Dreadnoughts, I could see all of these, these, and these bikes. Do you want to redeploy anything? He was like, no. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. Anyway, I proceeded to kill all of these bikes, which is brutal because the bikes are really good against me. They've got haywire, which is really nice. I dropped my drop pod, did my thing, that's not a drop pod. I dropped my drop pod to one side, right here. I don't know how to draw drop pods, but you know, that's a drop pod. All the dev boys got out, and they did their thing. I shot multi-melters into transports and shot grav into literally anything, and then I used the cherub to shoot the grav again and start killing the infantry. So I think I killed 3 boats, a unit of bikes, and then like 10 troops, turn 1, which is pretty rough for Liam. And my army started to just like move out. It started to move this way. His counter player was the Shadow Weaver came out, the Shadow Seer came out and started doing her shenanigans because I took engage on all fronts, assassination, and grind them down, and Liam took engage on all fronts, rod, and warp ritual. Now he managed to max out warp ritual because he got the Shadow Weaver and then made a normal move straight back into the transport. My night alone with Celestine was the best night of my life. Just saying, this game was a close second. Brilliant, mate. So the Shadow Weaver kept popping out of a transport and doing their thing. The bikes were all dead here. The bikes moved over here, and then kind of like waited a turn, I think, and then I kind of like, oh no, I think he advanced. He advanced and charged them turn 1. But essentially, I think he pretty much shot at my Redemptor and whiffed. Did like 2 wounds to it, and then charged it. And he charged like a character into my Devastators as well, who was nearly dead. And it was like, either way, I'm going to interrupt. And he wanted his character to stay alive, so he's let his character kill 5 of my devs. But then I interrupted with the Redemptor and killed 3 of his set 5 bikes. Because it's 3 plus D3 damage, which is brutal. Absolutely brutal. And that was kind of like all happening over here. It's a terrible picture this because the terrain's not right. But essentially, he charged his bikes over. I punched them. I walked out of combat and shot the crap out of them. My Eliminators were up here doing Eliminator things. Being annoying to characters. My Invicta Warsuit ran this way. Vanguard Veterans came up this way and just took this objective off here. They were just chilling. And it was kind of like that. That was kind of it. It was kind of like he had all his stuff here. My Contemptors were just gunning it down. We gunned down everything here. So he had like a couple of transports, a couple of troops left, but nothing really. But I kind of just held out after that. I was kind of just like landing on the objectives and just holding them. So I maxed out primary quite easily. I got 10, 15, 15, 15. I got engaged on all fronts. I maxed that out because I got 3 points every turn. Assassination I maxed out because I killed all of his 6 characters. And grind them down I got for the first 3 turns. But then I didn't score it for the last 2 because there weren't enough units to grind for them. That's the other problem, because in this game it's quite funny because I was just killing too much. So I couldn't grind them down because I couldn't see any more units. There was like 1 or 2 left. So I killed a unit, he killed the unit in return, and he denied me grind them down. They just weren't enough. They're just like characters and stuff. So he took engage, and he nearly maxed it out, to be fair, because he had he used his stratagems to pick up and put that back down again. He's still very fast, even though he's got a lot on the board. He got 13 for engage. He managed to get 8 for rod, and he maxed out warp ritual. pretty much just ignoring the Shadow Sea because it wasn't doing anything to annoy me. It was just kind of doing its own thing. So I just kind of ignored it. So the final score was 94 to me to 63 to Liam because he only got 20 on the primary. Because this is hold 2, hold 3, which Harlequins struggled with anyway. Harlequins really struggle with hold 2, hold 3 because they've got like lots of really high quality units. And obviously you can put Star Weaver on, but then if you lose them, then you got to go and put something else on. If you lose units quite quickly, it's bad. So the final score was 94-63 in the third round. And I was being a Chad. I lost 1-2. I was doing pretty well at this point. I was having the best time. And it was fun. It was very fun. So that was day 2 because it spread over a few days. And I'm quickly going to go and get a water because my throat is killing. So I'll be 20 seconds. Look at these cool boards while I go do that. So there are the boards. So next round, I played against Julian from French Wargame Studio. Absolutely fantastic creator. Who hasn't posted one picture of his Sisters of Battle anywhere. Also a content creator, don't post a picture of their army. What the hell, bro? Was he keeping it a secret? Is that what's going on? Oh. Nice Custodians army. We'll find it. That's pretty spooky. Nothing. There's nothing anywhere. Cheaped out by spending more money? Exactly. Mad. Madness. Well, that's AOS. It's not going to be that one. That's also AOS. Who doesn't post a picture of their army before they go away? What the hell, bro? He's only got a picture of Junith, I think. Where did I see Junith? Because they're bright pink. They're really pretty. They were really, really pretty. It's a shame I can't find them. Real shame. Oh, there might be a little video here. There you go. Sisters. Found him. Who did bring a camera on vacation? I took a camera, I just didn't use it. So, Julian was running Argent Shroud. Argent Shroud. Bright pink sisters. It was great. It was really good. Really cool. They are really nice. Really, really, really pretty army. So he was running pure Argent Shroud because he couldn't mix in this event. He couldn't mix orders. So he had Morven Val. He had a Battle Sister squad with a multi-melter. Only 5 Sacrisants. Only 5 Sacrisants, which is odd. This is Julian. He's talking about cool things like how he's going to play me one day and it's going to be great. A small trailer. That's what he's saying. A small trailer. Only 5 Sacrisants, which is weird. You had a Dog Martyr with Verse of Holy Piety and the Litany of Faith. He had 2 units of Dominions with the Artificer Bolters. So the Artificer Bolters are really good. As a 2 damage, you got the Stratagem to do mortal wounds, which is super crucial. He had 2 units of Retributors, all with multi-melters, and 2 Armorium Cherubs. He had 2 Rhinos with Hunter Killers. And then he had an Outrider with Celestine, 2 Difficult Assassins, 8 Repentia, and 3 units of Zephyrim, 3 units of 7, and an Exorcist with Missile Launcher. An Exorcist with Missile Launcher. So the Exorcist is really good, because I didn't realise that it can't shoot out of line of sight anymore, but you can use a stratagem to shoot out of line of sight, which is horrific. Horrific. It's 3d3, strength 8, -2, and d6 damage. It's horrible. And for 2 CP, you don't need line of sight. It's a very, very good unit. A very, very good unit. So it was kind of a scary matchup. Now, he didn't have as many bodyguards as I would have expected, but he did have that. He did have lots of Melter, and he was Sister, so they do have a lot. Now, the boy we played on was interesting, however, because it was really strange. We got the SM boys to set it up, and essentially it had lots of buildings, but all the blue stuff was dense, okay? It was trees. So we didn't quite have this same cell, but it was very similar. Kind of had like this building wasn't there, but it was like another building in the middle. Loads of dens here, loads of dens here. And the mission was search and destroy. Okay, so the deployment lines were like this. Something like that. Corners. Something like this. Okay. Now, when you're playing Sisters, the nice thing about it is sweep and clear, not search and destroy. The nice thing about it is that they don't have any forward deploy. So you can actually wait with your forward deploy and counter what they want to do. Now, the problem was I spent 40 minutes looking for the match, for the victor. So have you seen on the thumbnail? Right, as you've seen on the thumbnail, this is the match where I lost the warsuit because it went missing overnight. Why am I typing Instagram into Instagram? So this is where this picture came from. This one on the towel board, look. So I had to use a teacup for an Invicta warsuit. I had to like hide it behind terrain and try to see what I was doing. It was terrible. Anyway, deployment, bam, like that. Oops. Bam, like that, something like this. Okay. Now, again, I went first. I went first in every game, bar the one with Adrian, and that was the one I needed to go first in, which is annoying. Now, deployment went something like this. He put the Exorcist right in this corner. He put his bodyguards here, and Val and Celestine doing their things, or maybe the other way around. He had some Zephyrim along here. He had 2 Dominion Rhinos here. So Dominion Rhinos being able to pre-game move. And then some Zephyrim along the front. But he kept both Retributors and another unit of Zephyrim, Difficult Assassins, and Repentant Reserve. Now, I think that was the right thing to do. However, if he'd gone first, he would have been able to like absolutely nail me with all the melters. But because he put him in reserve, if he did go first, I think I still would have won this matchup anyway. Because I think putting him in reserve was a bad idea, but I understand because if I'd gone first and killed them all, he would have lost anyway. But I also think because he put them in reserve, if he'd gone first, he would have lost. But he is a fantastic player, so maybe I would have it would have gone a bit differently if he'd gone first, because he's got a really good list, and I don't know if he didn't see what I saw, and I thought maybe that was a bad idea, or maybe he saw something else. I don't know. However, my deployment will be blue. I put 5 Incursors along here, spread out. Means these 2 Dominions didn't move. They didn't move at all. I put my character Contemptor here. I put my other Contemptor back here. I had my Eliminators chilling here as well. Right, just a little bit outside the front line. I had my Invicta chilling behind a wall. I had all my other Dreadnoughts here. I had 5 Vanguard Veterans waiting here. Over this side. And I had my Scorpius right on the back line. And in this mission, it is essentially 1 objective here. 1 objective here. 1 here. 1 here. And then 1 in the center. 5 objectives. And this mission second is really good. So the secondaries I took were Oath of Moment, which is, kill vehicles, don't fall out combat. Engage on all fronts, because I need to be all over the board anyway. And Direct Assault, which is in mission 1. So it's hold the middle objective, or hold your opponents for more points. Julian went for engaging all fronts, Rod, and to the last. So to the last was on Val, it was on Celestine, and it was on let's have a look. Val, Celestine, and the Exorcist. So not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Anyway, I did my thing. I went first. All of this just moved like this. Literally, everything just moved. I had full line of sight to his entire deployment zone. It was horrific. Because the terrain was slightly differently, but the SM boys had set it up. My Vanguard stayed here. My other unit of Vanguard grabbed the objective here. And just chilled. And then I blew up both Rhino. I think I blew up one Rhino, killed all the Dominions, and then wrapped the other Rhino. So the Dominions couldn't get out without spending CP. The Exorcist was the prime target, and I think he left it a little bit too far out than he should have done. I think he should have put it further back. But the Exorcist died because I just shot him with multi-melters because my drop pod came down here. Got to draw the drop pod in every game. Dropped in like this. Dropped down, did their thing. Had a great time. Multi-melters all got out. The same tactic every time, gamers. It's an alpha strike list. That's what it does. It just drops down, kills you, and hopes you win. Hopes you win before that. I think this game was a little bit one-sided. It's probably the most one-sided game I've had with this list. Because in his retaliation, he killed some eliminators. But the end of my turn 2, Julian only had Celestine left, which was horrific. Absolutely horrific. You know? Your drop pod has changed every time. I know it has. I know it has. Just so I've gone offline on Twitch. Am I still live? It looks like I am. I think I'm still live. It looks like I'm still live. I am still live. It just said I've gone offline. Anyway, I'll carry on. So he only had Celestine left after my turn 2. It was brutal. He took it like a champ. It was absolutely horrid, though. It was absolutely horrid. He dropped in some Retributors. He dropped in some Seraphim. He managed to get Rod, but the damage had been done. The board was covered in dens, covered in forests. But there wasn't anywhere really to hide once I'd moved over. Any other deployment type, I think it would have been better, but I don't think the terrain really lent itself. As a lot of people have mentioned, is that like the SN, this terrain anyway, not like SN's boards are beautiful, right? But this one isn't too functional. You got a couple of tree stuff, which is kind of nice, but the obscuring isn't too functional. There isn't a lot of it. And they kind of like it doesn't cover the angles very well because it's all like blocks, and blocks of terrain don't really work very well. But essentially how it went after that was he dropped in some Retributors over here because my Vanguard had moved this way to grab this objective. Retributors blew up the Scorpius. Vanguard fought with Celestine and then died over here. I managed to I think he dropped some Seraphim over here. And then dropped in some more Retributors later on. And he scraped a few points. But he scored 25 on the primary, 8 for engage, 12 for Rod, and 5 for to the last. Because Rod is like quite easy to do with his list because he's got like Repenter, he's got like Death Cult Assassins to do Rod. He can do it turn 1, and the Dogmata has a litany to let you shoot and do an action. So it was like, I'm going to make these do an action and shoot, and then I'm going to shoot with the multi-melter and blow up your Invictor. I was like, cool, love that. That's great. But the game was brutal. He managed to get 60 points to my 92 because I only dropped 3 on Oath and 5 on Engage. Because I didn't get Engage turn 1 because I forgot to move my Vanguard. But that kind of made it was kind of nice because these Vanguard I forgot to move in this corner here. But then they didn't die, so I could run out and fight Celestine, which is actually kind of nice. So that was round 4. Against Julian. Again, really, really good player, but I think I kind of just hit him in the right place at the right time, and he couldn't really hide from it. He just kind of like just couldn't hide from it. And then again, as I said, the Retributors weren't on the board, so they couldn't really like hit me turn 1, which meant I couldn't hit them. But I don't know if it was like a bad play to hide them. I think it wasn't. It wasn't a bad play because I went first. But if he'd gone first, he really needed them. I don't think he would have done much damage without them. I think he was kind of like relying on the Exorcist to do the damage. I don't think he would have hit one target, and that would have been it. So, in the final round, gamers, I played Bridger of Tabletop Titans. Now, Bridger is a really good player. But what was interesting is before we went into this match, Winters was playing Adrian from Tabletop Titans. Now, Adrian was 4-0, right? He'd not lost a game. Only undefeated person, and Winters was 3-1. But we said that if Adrian lost his game, it meant that anyone could win the event, including one of us. So we were basically top table 2. Now, I'll try and find a picture of Adrian's Custodes. I'm sure Tabletop Titans have one on Instagram, which would be nice. Trying to find a picture. Top man Tabletop Titans. Yeah, they're both legends. Both really fun to play. Both excellent players. Oh, come on now, Bridger. Death Guard versus Custodes. Oh, it's just like a screenshot. Show me Custodes. I'm sure I saw some. There you go. We got some Custodes on there. They aren't frequent interposers. They're not, clearly. Okay, so Bridger was running Custodes. He was running Shadow Keepers as well. Second Custodes match of the tournament, but also the last round. He had a single battalion. He had Shadow Keepers as well, so they could turn off rerolls and they can -1 strength on weapons, which is very important. And this is probably the closest game I've ever had. He had Charge of Valoris with Champion of the Imperium, which allows units within 12 to heroically intervene as if they were characters. The Dawn Eagle Jet Bike with Auric Aquilus, which is 3 up in Bun and reroll charges. Indomitable Constitutions of 5+ Feeling of Pain and Superior Creation and 10,000 Heroes. So essentially, it's got 9 wounds, 5 up Feeling of Pain, 3 up in Bun, reroll charges. It's pretty horrific. He's got 3 units of Sagittarium Guard, Sagittarium Custodian Guard, or whatever they're called. Basically, guys with the 4-draw guys with the bolters. So they've got like basically multi-melters on top and then heavy bolters on bottom, and they're both assault. So you basically just advance and shoot both, which is pretty good. He had 3 Contemptor Galatus Dreadnoughts. So these are the sword and shield boys with the flamer sword. They do all the things, and he'd use Eternal Penitent on all 3. So that gives him +1 attack and reroll charges. He then had 2 units of Prosecutors, which are sisters with bolt guns. These are pretty much just used to like screen stuff out and hold objectives. He then had 5 Venatari Custodians with the Kinetic Destroyer, which is the Angry Pistol, and the Buckler, which gives him a 2-up armor save. And then he had a Combat Dreadnought, a Telemon Heavy Dreadnought with Eternal Penitent and 2 Fists. Now, this was like a really, really good list. And the board we were playing on was this one. It was kind of like a bombed out city. Again, the terrain layout isn't quite the same, but we can get the idea. We can get the idea from this. So, it was really tough. We both ended up taking the same secondaries. We both took Raised Banners, Stranglehold, and To the Last. The final mission was Scorched Earth. So, Scorched Earth is basically you have an objective here, here, and here. You have another one here, here, and here. Now, and the deployment lines is, again, Dawn of War, so it's kind of like something like, something like this versus something like this. So this is the deployment line. Now, I think I made a crucial error in deployment because I was very nervous about all the dreadnoughts. Because Bridger had put a Galatas here. He had 3 Custodi Sagittarium in here and some sisters. Some sisters chilling. He kind of did the exact same up here. He had 3 Galatas and 2 sisters chilling. Oops. Some sisters chilling in the background. Chilling their asses off. He had the Telemon here. He had Galatas here. Here. And then he had his bike as well. Somewhere up here. Like a bike here maybe. Up there. Is everyone a top man, Mark? Everyone's a top man. So that was kind of like his deployment. My deployment was Dreadnought, 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 Dreadnought over here. Invicta chilling here. Eliminators hiding behind a building here. Incursors over here. I had the Scorpius here. And then I had the Vanguard, 1 unit chill. Oops. Vanguard chilling here. Another unit of Vanguard chilling here. So this is a game of attrition, right? This was a wholly a game of attrition, because we've taken the same secondaries. We've both taken Raise the Banners, To the Last, and Stranglehold. So we both want to do the same thing. There's only 6 objectives. Now I'm going to recircle the objectives in blue. Oops. So these are the objectives on the board here. So we've both taken Stranglehold, Raise, and To the Last. So To the Last for Bridger was the Trajan. It was his bike. No, it wasn't. It was Trajan, his Venatari, and his Telemon. Those terrorist helps at no retreat look absolutely amazing. Very high level of immersion. Yeah, they're really, really good. Really, really good. So this is the hardest game I've ever had, I think. It was really, really close. It was really, really close. Because we need to trade. And whenever we need to trade, we need to stop our opponent scoring and score ourselves. Okay? However, I think I made a crucial error in deployment. Because I banked too much on this side here. I banked on this side too much here, just next to Winter's Tape Measure. I put too much over there. And the problem is there's loads of terrain, so it's not like I could pop out and shoot. Okay? It's not like I could pop out and shoot. Because I can't see much. I can see this Galatas. But I can't see much else. But I went first. So my plan is to try and kill as much as possible, drop pod in, kill all the dreadnoughts, and be done. Okay. So I moved all my stuff here. My dreadnoughts kind of like popped out a little bit because I had like my dreadnoughts right on this back line here, shooting at this Galatas here, and we killed that easily. It was fine. We raised banners. We raised banners here with some Vanguard veterans. And we had a banner here. And we had a banner here. We had banners on 5 objectives turn 1, which is pretty nice. Sorry, 4 objectives turn 1. But I dropped my drop pod here. We're doing it different again. I dropped my drop pod here. And I was trying to hit a Galatas Dreadnought that was here, right? There's a Galatas around here. And I was like, I'll kill that one, then I'll kill another one. Because I'm not going to deal with the Telemon. The Telemon's too tough. It can make me -1 stress, so I'm winning on 5s. With my multi-melters, which is shit. It can set up my rerolls as well. It's a lot of CP, though. But when I was shooting the Galatas, he did do it. Which meant I didn't kill a Galatas with 2 Devastator drop pods. Devastator squads. Because he used Shadow Keepers to turn off, make my strength -1. So now my Grav Cannon was strength 4 against him. Which is, I ended up shooting infantry anyway. And my multi-melters was really strength 7, so I was wounded on 4s. I couldn't re-roll because of the 2 PC strat for Custodies. So I was hitting on 3s with no re-rolls. And also, I couldn't re-roll 1s because of that. And also, they all have a 4+ invuln because they have the shield. The big shield thing, which you might as well hit in combat. But also, a 4+ invulnerable save. So I didn't kill 1, which is bad. So what he did, he countered with his bike captain, right? His bike captain came out and killed this, like killed them all. He had like the Galata shooting them, he had the Telemon shooting some plasma, and you know, doing all the things, and killed all the Devastators, okay? But then he left his bike here just touching the objective, kind of like just touching the objective, but he left his bike here. And this was probably one of the most crucial plays in the game, is that if he kept it, he'd get 15 on the primary, turn 2, and he would have beat me. He actually would have beat me at the end of the game. But because of what happened next, I actually won. Okay. I lined up both Contemptors, the Invictor, the Redemptor, the Scorpius, the Eliminators, who are still alive somehow, the Eliminators, the Drop Pod, and the Vanguard Veterans to kill the Shield Captain. Okay, so they all lined up because basically, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see, but much like this, no, you can't quite see. All right. The problem is with this board is that there's kill line straight down here. This is just death, right? We're playing Dawn of War, but like down Hammer and Anvil way, it's just death lines, okay? So we had this bike at the top, and I lined every single gun I had and combat unit I had to kill it. He spent his free command point that is given by SN for coming to turn off my rerolls, and then he spent his last 2 to minus on my strength 4. Other way around, maybe. He spent all of his CP to do it, right? I shot my Contemptor into there. 2 Contemptors. I used Mercy as a weakness, so 6s to wound. There were 2 wounds rather than 1. I put my Plasma Redemptor and overcharged and did a couple wounds there. My Invictor threw some auto cannons there. The problem is it was turn 2, so I didn't have my rerolls because he turned them off. I was -1 strength, which made my Volkites wounded on 5s rather than 4s. I couldn't reroll anything, and I didn't have any AP either. My AP had been sacked off, so I just had like a 2-up save. Anyway, I think he had 3 CP, or he'd not used all of his CP yet, but he did do that. Anyway, he was down to 1 wound, okay? He was down to 1 wound after the shooting phase. So I charged in my Vanguard Veterans, okay? 4 Thunderhammer attacks, 16 Lightning Claw attacks, and he did the exact same. No strength, turned off my strength, and turned off my rerolls. No, sorry, he just turned off the strength. I could still reroll. That was the bit. So anyway, I hit him with the Thunderhammer, missed. I hit him with Lightning Claws, managed to get 3 wounds through. Bearing in mind the Shield Captain's got 1 wound left. He failed 2 of them. So his CP re-rolled 1 of them to get a 3-up. So he'd failed 1 save. And then he rolled his Feeling of Pain and failed. And the Shield Captain went down like a boss. Down he goes. Let's go. Shield Captain's gone. The game is mine because of War of Attrition. I didn't know it at that point, but I was very excited. I literally jumped up in the air, clapped my hands and said, let's go, gamers. That's what happened. I was like, it was like this. When he rolled his saved, I'll reenact it. Are you ready? Are you ready, gamers? Right? Imagine your Shield Captain's just gone down, right? And I was watching his dice like this, right? I was watching his dice like this. And then he rolled a 2, and I was like, let's go, gamers! Let's go! That's what I was like. It's 10 o'clock. I'm not going to do it again. That's what I was like. It was like, my hands hurt. I was so thrilled. I was like, I can't believe I've done it. Killed it in 1 turn. I had to throw my entire army into it. Right? And I only just managed on the final dice roll. The final dice roll of my turn. I was so pumped. I was like, fuck, that's actually huge. And you think, oh, you killed the Shield Captain, that's fine. But yeah, but the Shield Captain was holding this objective here. He was holding this objective. He was holding this one, and this one. So me killing that in his turn 2, he only scored 10. Can you see that? He only scored 10. Which is super important. Super important. Because he actually lost by 4 points. Okay? That's how close it was. He would have scored 15 that turn. Because he would have held more than me, I think. But he didn't. Which is crucial. Anyway, the war of attrition basically carried on, and we basically got to a stalemate where I was kind of like hiding in this corner. He had his Telemon here. He dropped his Venatari here and turned off my banner because he killed all the Vanguard and stuff like that. And we pretty much had a stalemate. And we just basically ground it out. Now, sadly, we did run out of time, which is a bit of a shame. But we kind of realised that if there was one charge that Bridger could make with his Venatari to take my objective over here, he would beat me by getting that 5 points he'd lost earlier. And he rolled it and rolled a 5. He needed a 9-inch. And then he rolled it again and rolled a 7 and failed. And I took the win. I took the win, gamers. I beat Bridger or Tabletop Titans with his custodians. Let's go. Let's go. Final. In the final, basically, the runner-up table, the second table too. It was great. It was great. I loved it. But Bridger, but Adrian lost his last game on stream to Winter's SEO, right? He lost his last game, which is insane. So it actually left the entire event up to debate because no one knew who had won. Okay, there was Angel of Deep Game Spain. There was me of Hellstormwargaming. There was Adrian of Tabletop Titans and Winters of Winters SEO, all on 4 wins and 1 loss, and it all came down to points. All came down to points, which is amazing, right? Angel came 4th because he had dropped loads of points, right? Let's just pull them up. Because obviously, Winters won and I didn't win, or I'd be bragging way more than this right now. But if you just look at the placings, so Angel only had 355 points because he had a 40-point loss and a 41-point win. Look at that. Brutal. Adrian dropped lots of points. Look at that against Angel, I think that was. Let's have a look. It was against Angel. He only got a 50-point win, but then he got a massive 82-point loss in round 3. However, I'd consistently scored well, bar the last game. I scored consistently well, bar the last game. I mean, obviously the loss I scored low, but the last game was really screwing me because if you look, there is 16 points in between me and Winters in the end. Only 16 points between us. So if I'd taken a better secondary against Adrian, if I got a few more points out of Bridger, I would have actually won the event because Winters made Adrian lose, which is insane. Which is really insane. But it was a fantastic event. 5 excellent opponents. I felt like I didn't get like an easy run. I played all the hard lists, I played some real tough lists, but I didn't play against Winter's SEO. And I would like to change that. Now, Winter's SEO, champion of No Retreat Legends. Listen, I've beaten you before. You brought the most competitive list possible, and I brought Death Guard, right? And I beat you fair and square, okay? I beat you fair and square. And I feel like I could then beat you again, fair and square. So I challenge you, Winter's SEO. I challenge you, Winter's SEO, to a rematch. However, not just any rematch. Not any rematch. A shadow round, okay? Now, the event was only 5 rounds. But because you beat Adrian, you screwed the tournament. You added the need for a 5th. You added a need for a 6th and final round to get the real winners, to get the real winner of the event. You took the winning prize. You took the winning place early because you destroyed Adrian. You screwed the pairings. And that's your fault. So you have to stand up to a final shadow round against me. Okay? My list of No Retreat Legends versus your list of No Retreat Legends. Now, we're not even playing Broken Armies because we weren't touched by the balance patch, okay? However, Winter's SEO, I am calling you out, okay? A rematch. A rematch. On my channel, okay? On my channel, right? But your list is nothing, okay? Your list is nothing. You got lucky, okay? You played the two hardest opponents on the best mission for you and the best terrain for you. You even got coached by Bridger in the final round, okay? You even got coached by Bridger in that last game. You said, how do I beat him? And Bridger said, do this. You did that and won. So Winter's SEO, I'm officially calling you out for a final shadow round. Hellstorm versus Winters, the real champion's champion. I'll have you. So what do you say? Do you accept this challenge, Winter's SEO? Or are you going to pussy out? Okay? Deathwing versus Iron Hands. Blood Ravens versus the Green Boys. I don't know what you call them yet. They've probably got a name, but Deathwing versus name not confirmed. Okay? That's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. Winter's SEO, I'm officially calling you out. So go tell him, if you're watching on chat right now, go tell him I'm officially calling him out. Okay? I'm challenging him to a boxing match. Me and you in the ring. Let's go. Iron Hands versus Dark Angels. The final round to find the true winner, because he's beat everyone in the top 4 but me. Iron Hands also win versus Deathwing. I agree. Easy clap. Okay? Winters has a decent list. It's just, can I roll saves? Dad, I hate to mention it. I'm not there to participate in the shadow round. Are you really going to do this out, mate? You should have come home, brother. You should have come home, son. Winters, he has a Terrogator Chaplain with the Teeth of Terror. He's got Master of Sanctity. He's got Living of Hate, Hero of the Chapter, Teeth of Terror, and Wise Orator. He's got Exhaustion of Rage and Mantra of Strength. So a big smashy chaplain. Okay? He's got 2 units of Blade Guard Veterans. Right? 1 unit of 4, 5, 1 unit of 6. He's got an Apothecary with Selfless Healer. Yawn. That's what I say. He's got 3 units of Terminators. He's got a Sergeant with a pair of Lightning Claws. He's got Thunder Hammers. He's got Cyclone Missile Launchers. Some Chain Fists. He's basically just got 30 Terminators. Right? 2 units of Blade Guard, 30 Terminators and Missile Launchers, some Storm Shields, etc. And he's got smashy Chaplains. That's it. That's all he's got. He ain't got anything else. He just has to roll saves. But I'll make him take so many saves. So many saves that his army would die 2 times over. 2 times over. Okay? That's the plan. So, Winters, I'm officially calling you out for the final shadow round. The shadow round of shadow rounds. The battle of battles. Where men become gamers. And gamers become extraordinary. And I would like to play Winters on my channel because he owes me when I played on his. This list is literally geared against freebooters. It is! And freebooters are dead now. But neither of our lists got touched in the FAQ. Okay? Neither of our lists got touched in the balanced data slate. So that means we're okay. Our lists are fine. But my list is bare. My list is bare. I'm going to make him take so many saves, he's going to be fed up of rolling dice. Okay? So many saves. Winning on a 4+, I don't care. Right? I've got 18 shots from each Volkite. I love you, Mikey, but the people champion is Valrak. Only because I gave him the belt. I gave Valrak his belt. I made Valrak. Terminators are the best. Terminators are pretty good. But I'm going to get him. But the 2 heavyweights, Winters is currently the official champion of 40k YouTubers. He's the best 40k YouTuber out there because he's won the event. But I'm the second best, okay? But if I beat Winters, I become the best 40k YouTuber on the planet. On the planet! The best 40k YouTuber. That is, I think that's easy. It's going to be like taking candy from a baby. It's going to be just like taking a champion's trophy from an old man who wears a funny hat. Right? I'm going to have to take a different Invicta down with me, which is going to be a big Sag. That might be the crux. The crutch. He'd stop Winters again. I have beat Winters already. I beat Winters once before. This will be nothing. He'll be like, again, he'll be like, look, I finally got these tournament lists. I'll be like, how much did this cost you from Den of Imagination? Too much, mate. Too much. Because it's just been roll stomped by this Chad and his teacups. Right? This Chad and his teacup meta is challenging Winter's SEO for a rematch. The Shadow Round. The battle of all battles. You know, this is going to be like Gondor versus Mordor. It's going to be like Luke versus Darth Vader. It's going to be like Annie versus Eren in Attack on Titan, right? It's going to be like Jotaro versus Dio, where I'm Dio and I win. This time I win. Jonathan versus Dio. Jotaro versus Dio. Who else? Literally any other franchise ever. It's gonna be like Ash versus Gary in the final, in the Pokemon League. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna roll out Charizard, and he's finally my Charizard Warsuit, and he's finally gonna do as he's told. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be like Joseph versus Cars in JoJo. It's going to be like Elmo versus the Cookie Monster. Naruto versus Madara. Who else? That's what it's going to be like, okay? That's what it's going to be. I'm not going to stand down. I'm not going to take no for an answer. So, Winters, if you're listening, if you're watching, get ready. Get ready. It's going to be like peanut butter versus jelly. Optimus versus Megatron. Captain Planet versus Pollution. Brilliant. It's going to be like Captain America. It's going to be like Iron Man versus Thanos. But I'm Iron Man. And get rid of you. But that's it. That's it, gamers. That's all I've got for you. That's my no retreat journey. What do you reckon? GW versus Boogie Spam. That's my summary of No Retreat Legends. It was great. It was a great event, and they smashed it. But as I've mentioned before, if you join the Discord, !Discord in chat. !Discord in chat. SN are very close. They're shutting this at midnight tonight. So in like 45 minutes for them, in 45 minutes, this is going to close. So if you haven't already, do consider donating. I did donate £69 this morning because funny sex number. Where is it? Mikey's Invicta Warsuit donated a £5. I donated £69 because funny sex number. So if you can, please do go and donate. We'd love it to get it to 10,000 before it closes, which would be really cool. It's for Jib Sams and Walking Together, which is 2 mental health charities, which I'm very passionate about. So if you can, I would love you to go check it out. Don't chuck a £5 their way. Try and get it up to £9.5 grand before the end of the night, which would be really cool. Tune in tomorrow for part 2. But no, that's it. Any thoughts on meta changes? I did do a stream on that yesterday. It's very good though. Very healthy meta. Very healthy meta, which I like. Let's have a look at memes. Oh, Warcraft World, that's it. There's no memes or whips. We'll do memes or whips on Monday then. Teacup Matter. Yeah, so Monday, I'm going to be having Liam on from Goonhammer, chatting all about the meta change and what we think, which will be fun. And tomorrow, I might be live again, playing some live Warhammer. I've got brand new internet, gamers. Can you tell? I haven't had an issue in like 3 days. Can you tell I've got brand new internet? My fiber finally came in. So now my internet actually works. I had one issue. It's been great. It has been great. Been really good. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night, I think. I'm going to call it a night. It is 10:15. Obviously a late stream this week because I was at drawing dogs. It's going to be like Iggy versus Sandman. Let's go. Let's go. My Iggy drawing. So if you are watching live, then thank you very much. As always, if you want to watch my live streams later, don't worry. Don't worry. If you miss it, you can always watch it. It's in the live stream playlist. You can get it out. Get it whenever you like. You can always watch. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Or you can follow the stream on Twitch. You can subscribe on Twitch. You can Prime sub. You can become a member. You can do all the things. You can come and support me whenever you like. I really appreciate it. If you're watching live, we're going to raid someone on Twitch. But if you're watching on YouTube, then Liam is currently streaming, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah, Liam's currently streaming. Let's go raid Liam. Okay? Through YouTube. Through YouTube. Okay? Let's go in and say, wear warsuit. Wear my warsuit. Okay? Go in and say that. So ask him about my warsuit. Okay? Go in there. Go and say hello. If not, if you're watching on Twitch, then I'm going to raid someone in Warhammer. We'll raid Kiara. We'll raid Kiara because Broadsword couldn't make the event, so I raided Girlfriend. We're going to say hello to Kiara. And thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the follows. Thanks for hanging out. I love you all. And hopefully, I'll catch you on potentially tomorrow. Join Discord to find out. Or I will catch you Monday. I love you all. And bye-bye for now. Bye.